know, we don't know how this is going to turn out. It can go either way. But you know, we really need to come out of this united as Democrats. And so that's my hope that we'll do. So thank you very much, David, and thank you, Sydney, for being courageous and facing us. Okay. I think we need to move on to an introduction now of our special guests. And we have three here tonight. Three distinguished women in our legislature that we're all so proud of. And I would like for Jim Briscoe to interview Kerry Donovan. And if Representative Donovan could make just a few words, that would be great. And then we'll move to Millie and then to Kristana and her speech.
So it is my pleasure and privilege to introduce to you Senator Kerry Donovan. I've known Kerry for the last couple of years now, and I really respect what she's attempted to do. I was so dismayed last year when our representative out of, or senator, I should say, out of Grand Junction by the name of Ray Scott, saw fit to kill the bill that Kerry was promoting that I feel would have benefited Delta County, which was to provide funding for communities that were suffering the loss of jobs, which we all know Delta County is suffering. And so now I introduce to you Senator Kerry Donovan.
Thank you. Thank you. So I will share some good news with the group. We reintroduced that bill that got killed last year on party politics. And largely the same bill, changes the funding source a little bit. And with today's news about additional mine closures, this bill seems to be even more salient than ever. And it passed out of its first committee on a bipartisan vote just maybe 2 weeks ago or so. Passing out of the first committee is a major hurdle for any bill, so I am very hopeful that if I can keep having the right conversations with the right folks, we can get that bill passed into law, which would mean upwards of $2 million and the support of the state, specifically to address the issues that are helping in Delta County. So I'm really, really hopeful that this bill has a chance this year and doesn't meet the same party line political death that it did last year, which was really disappointing to me as a citizen of Colorado, that just the letter behind your name, which was Democrat, not Donovan, killed that bill last year. So maybe it was Donovan, but I think it was Democrat. So anyways, wanted to briefly touch on that since you mentioned it. I will also just very briefly give you guys kind of an update on the state of the Colorado State Senate. Right now we are the minority, 18 to 17, but we have a very clear pathway forward to win the majority back this fall. We have assembled an incredible collection of candidates that are really spreading the Republicans and their resources and special interests like Americans for Prosperity much thinner than they anticipated. I think before they thought they were going to have a couple seats to work on. We fielded candidates down in southern Colorado, a sheriff down in the Pueblo area who's running on the Democratic ticket. Tom Sullivan has stepped into the race very recently. He's running against someone who they thought was going to be a safe seat. Tom Sullivan is the father of one of the Aurora movie theater shooting sons. He's extremely eloquent and is running on the platform of making sure that we have an economy that works for the middle class. So an incredibly strong candidate that's going to give that seat that they thought was safe a run for their money. So this is what the Senate Dems are doing across the state to make sure that we get that majority back in a year from now. Because why is the majority important? Although we do a lot of work bipartisanly, a lot of bills are passed through successfully with bipartisan support, the party that's in charge gets to dictate the long-term future of the state and make those long-term policy goals. So it is important for issues like public lands, for making an economy that works for everyone, to really making sure that we are supporting the middle class that hasn't seen the recovery that they expected. All those issues that are important to this group of folks, it's important that we get that majority back, and I feel pretty confident that we are going to get there just because of this amazing team that we've set up. And we've worked hard even in the minority. Your strength is your voice. And so as the minority party in the Senate, we've worked hard this session to start to draw contrast between the parties to make sure that the citizens of Colorado have a clear choice when they go to the ballot of which party they want to push forward. So that's the update that I wanted to give you guys. Sorry, I think that was some pretty fast speaking on my part, but wanted to download some information with you folks before I go track down some dessert and enjoy the rest of the speakers. So thank you for your guys' support. It is always so uplifting to come to Delta County and see your guys' warm faces, hear about the issues that are happening here. I think Delta is at a very interesting point in its history of determining its future from here forward. And I hope that you will certainly rely and lean on me to help you guys where we can as a state to chart and support Delta's path. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Kerry. And now Aaron Jameson is going to introduce Representative Millie Hamner, who will speak briefly.
I have the honor tonight of introducing Millie Hamner. She's been working very hard on the Budget Committee, and she's working hard for Delta County. She's here for us. She responds, she answers our questions, and she is a go-getter. Millie Hamner. Thank you.
I'm a little confused about where you want us to speak from, so I'm just going to go up here. Because it looks like we want, David, do we want the microphone this way? Okay, that's what I thought. Well, thank you, Aaron and Art, and to those of you who stopped by their beautiful Weishart Springs Inn earlier this afternoon. Kerry and Chrysanta and I were able to, with their generosity, host an event there. Some of you were able to attend. And they're just so beautiful for doing that. Just a couple things I wanted to say. One, it was kind of iffy about whether the three of us were even going to be able to make it here today. First of all, you know, we're in Denver full-time, Monday through Friday, with really intense work that we're juggling and committee assignments. And then I-70 was closed through the canyon, right? So we made it through skier traffic and rock slides and canyons, and nothing's too big an obstacle for us to be here with you today in Delta County. Well, thank you for that. And I also wanted to say, I was talking with one of my Republican colleagues yesterday, Friday, about this weekend coming up, and driving and getting in the car and driving to Delta and doing the event at the Weishart Springs Inn and then doing this event. And he said, well, I don't do any of that. And I realize how fortunate, I think you recognize it, and maybe that's why Kerry and I like to come here so much, is that we know how much you appreciate us. And even though I only have half of Delta County, which is really a bummer for me, I know it's equally a bummer for you. But look how fortunate you are to have Kerry Donovan as your senator, and you have a Democrat representing you. Even if I'm not officially your representative, I'm working there for you. So I just want to make sure you know that. And I have to say how uplifting it is to have the young people in the room. Sydney, oh my God. I don't know, if I had started like that, I'd probably be president. It's just amazing. Yeah, she could be our president. And to have the young people in the room, that's what we need. That's what the Delta County Democrats need to change the tide here in Delta County. And it's what we need in this nation. More young people, eloquent, articulate, understanding, and getting involved. So I'm just so motivated by the fact that you're all here, and that's just very encouraging. So I just commend you and thank you so much.
Thank you.
No, seriously, thank you. So, and I know I'm not your speaker, and you're so fortunate to have Chrysanta here. She's our majority leader. We look up to her. She works so hard. She's got a bright future in politics, so we're very fortunate to have her say yes to be here today. I hope you know I am working really hard for you. There are things that really worry me about our state right now. I'm worried about our budget balancing. I'm worried about doing all the things you want us to do with K-12 education and early childhood and higher education and our roads, for God's sake. And all of the things that we need, mental health issues, there's so much work we have to do. And you know what? We're in a situation where we have Tabor. And we have this limit. And no matter how much money we bring in to our budget, we're only allowed to spend up to this limit. And then we have to refund a check to every single one of you at a time when our roads are crumbling, our schools need our help, and we need to invest in core services for our people. So I'm worried about balancing this budget and meeting all of your expectations. I'm worried about how healthcare costs are just going skyrocketing for people who really can't afford it, and I'm really worried about our schools. So that's what I'm committed to making better, and with your help and support, which I so appreciate, I wouldn't be in this position without it. I know we can make some progress. So thanks so much for inviting us here today, and you're going to love Chrysanta.